I got everything going today. I got the Be the CEO. I got the
Yeah, look at
CEO.
you. Yeah.
I got the Atomic. I got the Believe, Behave, Become. I got everything going today, Tom. My gosh, I'm a little merched and logoed out today.
Yeah, you're very logoed. You're
Oh,
a new term. It's logoed, not
no,
loco.
you're logoed out. I was on a podcast, or not a podcast. I was just having a meeting with someone who has a podcast, and his name's Evan Marks. He runs a really great leadership and performance coaching business. He was in a hedge fund and built a hedge fund and everything. And I think the name of his program was like M1 or something like that. And he had M1 hat, M1 this, M1 back there, M1. It was like it was everywhere, but it looks classy. It was like
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it looks classy. I like it. He's a good dude. I'm inviting him to one of our CEO mastermind groups. He's a good dude.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And his
Awesome.
brother his
Mm.
brother built a business that is worth over $1 billion, and he helped him a little bit. It's crazy.
Wow.
Good dudes. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, what's up, man?
Tell you, man, it's been a great week.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling. I gotta say, I'll put a plug in for NeuroGum.
Oh yeah.
The NeuroGum is pretty good stuff. I gotta say, I definitely feel like a little bit of clarity when I chew it. I feel a little more focused.
Mm.
I feel like that I'm not as distracted as I normally am. I'll say that much.
Be the
So
CEO podcast brought to you by Neurogum.
NeuroGum.
Go to Neurogum /CEO. Neurogum /CEO. Just joking.
Yeah.
We don't have any
We
sponsors with them.
No, we have no sponsorship, but
Yet.
maybe we should.
Yeah, there you go.
Not
Yeah.
yet. Exactly, exactly, not yet. So, yeah, so no, that's been good,
What's the difference you
like,
feel for yourself in it?
I feel a little bit more pumped up, a little bit more energized, a little bit like, it's just I can't it's more sunshine and rainbows than it is fog, I'll say that
That's a good
much.
way to say it.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
look,
I even feel like a little bit mood shift, a little bit of a mood shift, like, I
yeah,
could feel it. Yeah. So and it's good. It's pumping me up. So I
nice.
feel good about it. Yeah, listen, sometimes you just need a little boost. I didn't chew any today, which is interesting, and I'm feeling pretty good. So, you know, maybe I'll chew a piece before we go to dinner tonight.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Well, the thing is like, when you're in a high responsibility situation, which you are, the lives of our clients are in your hands.
Yep.
You got to be as sharp as you could possibly be, and the more people you help, the more they use up that energy and that mental capacity and that cognitive function. And it's like you got to be able to find any edge you can. So, any business owner who's out there, it's if you can find a different way to have an edge, it is
Yep.
important. You have to be able to have that energy mentally and physically. What were we gonna say?
Well, I think you're 100% right. I'm thinking about it like I have chewed a piece of gum before each meeting, and I have found in those meetings that I have a little higher level of energy in those meetings than I've had previously.
There you go.
And like different points in the day, like I'm starting to feel a little tired right now. And like I'm wondering if like 4 o'clock is kind of like a drop off for me.
Mm.
But I've also been trying to be very conscientious of not having caffeine after 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well,
Like,
you have no control for that experiment.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Very true.
So I'll tell you on one for me is, we switched our schedule for 2026, and now I go to the gym at 1:30, and I used to go at like 10. Um, so it's 4 o'clock right now where we are.
Yeah.
So it's been, I don't know, only like an hour since I left the gym. I feel the second half of my day, I have more energy now. So I was very concerned. I'm like, I don't know if, because in the morning I would do that and I'd have energy and it would, it'd slow down at a certain point. I'm pumped up when I wake up in the morning. We get in here, we do our thing. We have that little break in the middle for fitness and our kids. And then we come back. And I've been really good at 4 or 5. We have meetings at 4, at 5, and at 6. And I haven't felt like I'm dragging ass. I haven't felt I've needed a nap. I haven't, like, I feel a lot better. My sleep hasn't changed. I'm getting the same amount of sleep I have, always.
Mhm.
So it's not like I'm getting more or less sleep. But I am not taking any naps, which I would probably take, I don't know, anywhere between 2 and 4 naps a week, because I felt I needed it So now I don't know if I don't need it or if I don't have time for it. So if I had free time, I wonder if I would.
Right.
So now I'm trying to like, wait a minute, was it not a physical thing? Was it a mental thing? Like, oh, I could take a nap, might as well. And if any of you listening or watching, I take 22-minute long naps. I did this whole thing years ago to figure out the exact amount of time. If I took 40-minute naps, it was no good. If I took 10 minutes, it was no good. 22-minute naps, it's crazy. So I set an alarm for 25 minutes. It takes me about 3 minutes to get myself to fall asleep. I sleep like a rock. I wake up and I feel unbelievable.
Well, it's when you start to put those kind of parameters and things in place and you decide that, "Oh, I could do this or I could do that." I mean, all these behaviors lead to other consequences, and that's what we have to really be very aware of, right? Like, I've never tried to go to the gym at 1:30 in the afternoon. I always like to go in the morning when I'm first getting my day started. It gives me a good pump for the day, and, I haven't been to the gym since my surgery, and now I'm gonna go start to go back, but it's like I wonder how working out in the afternoon might impact too, because now I feel like we have to be so zoned in for those 3 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the morning that we're working, right? 3 with clients, 1 with ourselves working on the business, and then that 3 hours after that 4 o'clock. I wonder if that would be a better use of energy, and this is, like, just figuring out where your energy works best, and you're right, if you're not thinking about taking that nap, you're not gonna take that nap, and that's the behavior, like, we're always talking about behavior, believe behavior become behavior, all these behaviors shape how we become, whether or not we're gonna be productive, or we're gonna be, energetic, or we're gonna be present, and it's interesting. What are you laughing at?
You're fun. Nothing. Inside joke. I'm not going to share here. But yeah, so like that thing, it's like that nap where I almost got conditioned to it. It no longer
Yeah,
served me, or at least since we've changed our schedule, it doesn't seem like it would serve me any longer. So
right.
is it that I didn't need it, or is it that the gym really revitalized my energy levels and that allowed me to overcome it by having that in those different frames? Because I also don't eat until very late. Like
Mm,
I have 1 or 2 meals. My first meal is sometime between 7 and 8 p.m., and then I may have another meal at like 10 p.m., and I go to sleep
yeah.
about 11:30, and then I get up between 6 and 7. And it's like, okay, well, I have a weird way of eating, but when I was going to the gym in the morning, I would eat a little earlier, which always makes me a little more lethargic. So like
Mhm.
again, from same with me is I don't have a controlled experiment here. I have too many things that have
Yeah,
changed, but what the thing is like, is this who you wanna become? Are these behaviors allowing you to be the way you wanna be? And, so far for you, the neurogum is it's allowing you, it's like there's no negative side effects really, except at a certain point, you'll probably become reliant on it. You'll be like, "Man, I can't get that edge
right,
without it," like I do with nicotine
right,
pouches. I love them. "Here, you wanna give a shout out?"
right,
I'll give a shout out to
yeah,
Alp. This is Tucker Carlson, supposed to be, really, no crappy chemicals or anything else. But it's, nicotine, it's like, wow,
yeah,
it's cognitive function. It's a nootropic. It allows different things to happen. My wife can't seem to grasp like it's not a cigarette or a cigar. She can't get that yet. So she's like, it's bad
right.
for you. I'm like, well, it's good for you. She's like, it can't be good for you. It's nicotine. I'm like, you don't know shit. I'm like, neither do I, but you don't know shit. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's the
you
point, that's a good point. Like, the addictive property, you don't wanna become addicted to it, and that's why I'm kinda like, I didn't need it I didn't feel I needed it today, like, the addictive property of it, I was like, "I don't need this today. I'm good. I
well,
I can skip this,"
but that's the thing. It's like
and
maybe I became addicted to the naps.
right, exactly, exactly, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and then that yeah, and now you broke that addiction, you see? It's possible to break
Well,
an
but here's the
addiction.
thing. You don't have to you don't know if it's good or bad, right? So and most things that anyone is addicted to, whether they're positive or negative, one things that you let's go from addiction to habit. If you have a habit, because habits can be positive or negative,
Mhm.
you if you don't want to be the person that habit produces anymore, then you have to change the habit, and that's the hard part. Or if you want to be someone different, you have to look at how do I change my habits to do so. So you and I really we changed our schedule last year to try to do something with these energy breaks in between. And we
Mhm.
didn't adhere to it, so we don't know if it worked or not. It was very difficult for us mentally
Right.
to adhere to that thing. Um, Now this year, we're like, okay, here's how we do it. And we were both a little concerned. Are we going to be able to do three back-to-back clients in the morning, three back-to-back clients in the evening? So far, so good. We're able to do it. But we were both a little
Yeah.
worried, like, all right,
Yeah.
we're going to be mentally drained and we're not.
Right.
So
Right.
that's good. But what are the other things that are lending to that kind of success? The other changes, neurogum or
Well,
different
I
hours
also
we
think
work or going to the gym, these things.
it's the simplicity of which we've decided to approach our days too. I mean, we are approaching our days very systematically. We know exactly what we're doing at each hour of the day, and that break in the middle of the day has become like, okay, I work really hard for this, and then I can really take a break, and I need that break to recharge. Because what a lot of people may not realize too is such the drain that coaching can be, is giving all your energy to your clients and being present and it's necessary. Now I understand even more like therapists. Therapists don't see more than 5 or 6 patients in a day because it's very emotionally draining, it's physically draining, it's mentally draining, and you have to have these periods. And what we still have adhered to is our attention management behaviors of making sure we have the time to go and restore our brains, and that's what that break has really become. And we're both restoring our brains in very different ways. You're going to the gym. I'm taking that break. I'm doing something for me. I'm going to read, or I'm doing, and I've been keeping up with my reading every day as part of my New Year's project, so that's been awesome. And it really is important that you stay when you make a change in your schedule, that you give it a good shot for a 90 days or whatever it may be, to really see what the true benefits are of it, and try not to squeeze so much into your day. And we're doing a lot, but it doesn't feel like a lot because of the way we've structured it, you know? We've also tried to make things fun. I mean, we're having fun booking. We've decided to book 1 client a day and and see book a prospective person per day and see 1 person per day that we haven't met, and have that screening call, so to speak, but have that conversation. And we made that fun. We made it a challenge, right? Like, we still have to figure out what we're doing. We neither of us booked the call today. We gotta book a call. We gotta figure that out. But there's all of these different simple behaviors that we've put in place have allowed our stuff to be more predictable for me. Like, I see our day as much more predictable than in the past. And a certain level of predictability gives me comfort, and it allows me to use my energy the way I know I should be using my energy. So when I feel I need a boost like a neurogum is because I need to get through that next session because my energy is a little bit lower than I expected it to be.
You're also in a place where you now have, given up choice, right? So what happens is those 3 clients in the morning and 3 clients in the afternoon, you don't have a choice. It's not like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's it.
"Oh, I don't have this time and I'm gonna just do something else." So that's the thing is when you have time that is committed and it's on your calendar, you know what you're gonna do, and you don't give yourself it's a non-negotiable to show up and do that thing. You don't really it's like, I'm gonna do it. Like, we're both very, like,
Right.
I'm gonna do whatever I have to do, right? It's like, not
Correct.
not do whatever I have to do, but I'm gonna do whatever I've committed to doing.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think when you have that, "Well, we have free time, what do you wanna do?" It's you could feel like, I'm tired. Why don't we just come back later and do something else?" Or go off on some tangent that, "Well, let's do this because it's on this zone of the wheel," or whatever, like, it'll make us
Right.
feel better. We're not giving ourselves choices anymore. So, there is some, uh there is some level of appreciation for being
Mhm.
very rigid in what you're doing while allowing some flexibility. And we talk about this with having standards, right? When we talk about
Mhm.
people behaving a certain way, a lot of people just say there's a here's how I'm going to do something. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to, I don't know, give you an example. I'm gonna every day I'm gonna spend an hour in the morning going over my, notes, whatever. Any business could do that. I'm gonna
Right.
spend an hour every day going over my notes in the morning, and they're like, okay, every single morning I'm gonna do that, and that's like their goal. The idea though is what we do is we set standards, and the standards allow for the tactic to change. So this a standard for something like that is, I'm gonna make sure that I'm always on top of what my clients need to get done. And you could say that in any way, shape, or form that you want to. So like my standard is I'm always aware of what I have to talk to my clients need to have done before I meet with them. So let's say you meet with someone once a week. The standard is saying I'm going to make sure before I meet with that client that I've looked at them. Where someone else would be so rigid, they say every morning I'm going to look at that. The tactic of doing it doesn't have to be so rigid. The tactic can change. You could say, well, I'm going to spend 15 minutes before the meeting and do that. I could spend every morning doing it. I could spend every evening. And depending on how your life and your work is flowing, you can change the tactic, but the standard never
Mhm,
changes. Where most people get caught up in not being able to continue a behavior is that the tactic does no longer fit within their daily life. And the more important you become to your business, to your family, to your clients, you are gonna lose less of your flexibility in what you have to do. And if you are married to like, this is the way I do things, the tactical way I do something, you're gonna eventually lose control because someone else is gonna take that time, or your resources are gonna have to be spent somewhere. And that's why we always say if you're becoming a CEO, you have to have standards. Those never change, and the tactics, those can change underneath them.
right. And it really prescribes a very good pattern of behavior when once we decide what these standards are, right? It allows you to look at how you're carrying out what you're doing with a hell of a lot more intention, right? Standards create intention. Like, it's my intention to stay on top of my client's needs. Well, that's a very intentional thing to do. And then how you're going to do it can be done a variety of ways. And that behavior is necessary because when we lack intention, we just create chaos. And this allows us to it gives us more decision-making power too when it's more intentional. We talk about giving people certainty and making decisions, and part of those that certainty is having these standards that you're living by because they're extremely intentional. And it's important that sometimes 2 standards can come out of alignment because they just don't make sense or it's not working the way you anticipated, and sometimes you have to reevaluate, does that standard still make sense? Or am I now just have I turned the standard just into this tactical thing? Right? Like sometimes I get confused and struggle with standards and tactics. And even when we're working with clients, it becomes a little bit of a mirage, so to speak, and blurry. But when you look at the standard and that's what I'm going to do, not how I'm going to do it. And a lot of people can adopt really intentional behaviors when they know what they're gonna do
Well,
and make better decisions.
the simple way I've been able to define it to our clients is the standard is what, the tactic is
Mhm.
how.
Yep, that's
The
it.
standard is what? What is my standard? How do I uphold that standard? Two
Yeah,
drastically different things, right?
yeah.
Like what do we do every Thursday, Tom? What's the standard every Thursday?
Every Thursdays, we meet with our clients. We give
What?
clients our
Do you
on
not know
Thursday,
our
we
own Thursday night standard?
oh, no, on Thursday night, I thought you were just talking about Thursday in general. No, Thursday night is we're in a room, meeting with people, getting to know new people, seeing business owners, doing our mastermind,
Okay, well,
networking.
see, this is why you may be askew with it, is because you're complicating the standard. The standard is every night we're in a room with people. That's it.
Right, that's the
You were
standard.
starting to go with the mastermind.
I
That's
went
the
into the how, I
tactic.
went to the tactics. See, I always do that. I can't leave it
Well, you're
at
an
the just
operationally minded guy, right?
yeah,
So,
that's the problem.
we
I'm
talk
always
about
about
there's
the
really
how.
3 different types of people. There are visionaries, organizers, and doers. And you're
Doers.
more of an organizer. I'm more of a
Yep.
visionary, right?
Correct.
So the
That's
thing
why
you and I lack
standards
is
are
a
so
doer.
good, but that's why you're so good at creating helping somebody develop the standard because you're keeping it at a higher level. I'm already in, and this is just the way my brain works. Like, I don't know why, but you're right. I'm more operational, therefore I'm always trying to move to the tactic of how we're going to carry out the standard. And
Yes.
yes, I said it. We're in a room every Thursday night. That's the standard. That's what we've created. And I went into it's dinners, it's mastermind, it's networking, it's all those
Mhm.
things. Those are all of the tactics that we are using to uphold that standard. And that's an important thing that people should take away from this is that tactics are the how you're going to carry the standard out.
But
Period.
most people get married to the how I'm gonna carry something out, and then when it
Yes.
doesn't work right for them, they wanna change not just the how, but the what. So, if someone's doing, like, sales now, like, "Oh, I used to do, sales through Instagram or something like that. Nah, it doesn't work anymore." And it was now they go to, like, advertising, right? They go from
Right.
Instagram and communicating with people in DMs to
Right.
advertising. Those are 2
Well, what's
different
the standard?
standards. Right?
Right.
And they may be like, "Well, I'm trying to get clients." No, no, no. One, you are asking people to be interested in your thing. The other, you are having a conversation and building a relationship. So if the standard is, I put my product or service in front of people every day, that's advertising. If the standard is, I have conversations with people who could potentially be interested in me every day, that's a different thing. So the tactic changes based on the standard, but what people do is they throw away the standard with the tactic. And that's why I say the standard never changes, the tactics underneath it do. But here's what happens as well is the reason they throw it away so quickly is because they never really believed in the standard. And the thing is like you have to have this innate core internal belief in why you're doing things. And that's where most people feel like they get stuck. Like they're super successful, they're making money, and everything feels off. They're like, I don't understand, something feels off. And it's because they no longer believe in their own standards. And where do
Mhm.
you set standards from? It's your meaningful goals, right? And it's like, well, now they have this goal of like, all right, next year I'm going to do 20% more than I did this year. It's not really meaningful for them. It's just a thing they're going to do. And then the standard is we're going to, meet with X amount of clients per week. And they don't really do that either. And they're like, well, the way we're going to meet with clients every week is we're going to do an email campaign. And none of this, they don't believe in any of this thing. They just kind of cross their fingers, hold their breath, and hope it works. And then they go through the routine over and over and over again with this lack of belief. And that is where we have been able to really change people's lives is letting them understand their current belief system because man, my belief has changed often. It changes based on my family circumstances, my needs, my desires, the things I'm interested in. And if you're not adaptable to what you believe in to upgrade your standards or see if they still align, you're gonna go down a course of action that is not yours any longer. It's just the thing I always have done. It's the status quo. And great businesses and great people aren't built through just following the status quo. Those people are called employees.
Correct. Correct.
And
You
that's
know,
the major difference.
it is, and this is why people to just look at the employee side of things. This is why people struggle with retaining employees is because the employee doesn't believe necessarily in what we're trying to do as a company, right? If they don't believe in it and they see that you really don't believe in it, well, how can you really drive a successful company if you don't even believe in what you're doing? And that is where people really struggle and they don't recognize that when somebody's leaving your company and, you gotta look at, "Okay, do I still believe in what we're doing here? Did I change? Did I shift? Did my standards change? Did things happen?" Because that is a number one thing that causes us to become misaligned, right? That's the bottom line, right? Because beliefs create values. Values dictate behaviors. We talk about this all the time in our, simple focus. Like you have to own this. You have to believe it. And if it's not your bread and butter, if it's not the thing that you truly are obsessed about, constantly are thinking about and truly believe is going to happen, and then all of those things are gonna fall by the wayside, and you're never gonna develop the right habits and the right behaviors to carry out because you don't believe in it, and it's
Well,
simple.
so think about it. You're talking about the employees.
Yeah.
So one of our clients over the last 2 years, we brought him from zero, from conception to $2 million, and he has 9 employees. Right, $2 million of revenue, fantastic. But the thing is, the way that he kept these great employees at producing and on board and wanting to grow this company is he led from culture first, and the culture wasn't just like, we're fun or was that they
Right.
believe in what they're doing and the way that they're doing it and why they're doing it. And everybody he brings in goes through a culture filter test. And it's like,
Mhm.
if you're gonna be on board with us, you have to like bleed what we do. And there's a new coach for the New York Football Giants, John Harbaugh, and he was up
I
there.
love how you put in the New York Football Giants,
I
like, this
always
is
Yeah, you gotta
becoming
say that. You
yeah,
gotta say it, the New York Football Giants, that's what they are, that's their real name, that? It's the New York
that is
Football
their
Giants.
real name,
Well, because it
yes.
used to be the Giants for baseball used to be they were here first.
Right. Exactly.
Where were
That's funny.
were they just the New York Giants? Or they the Yeah, they were just the New York Giants, yeah.
Yeah, they were the New York Giants,
Yeah, the
yeah.
New York Giants were baseball, the New York Football Giants
Yeah.
are football. Okay, so,
Mm.
yeah, not many people who aren't true fans know that. So, anyway, John Harbaugh, he was doing his press conference as after they hired him and signed the
Yeah,
deal, and they were talking about, like, "Oh, with all these players, like, and when you have the draft pick, what kind of players do you like, and who do you think you're gonna draft?" And he's like, "Well, the GM, that's up to him. He does that stuff and da da da. They do those things." He's like, "I only care about one thing." And everyone, like, in the press room kinda like, "Okay." He's like, "I just Do you love football? Like, if you're gonna play here, you gotta love football. You gotta like, I can't wait to get in the film room and watch film. You gotta be like, oh my gosh, I love practice. You gotta go home and not have to look at the playbook. Can't wait to
right,
study the playbook. You gotta bleed football. Like, you can't wait every day to do football." I'm like, "Damn, man. That is such a difference maker when someone is all in." Because I've said this phrase many, many times. You're either all in or you're in the way. And that's really what belief is I am so invested in this. I am obsessed with this thing that there's nothing else that I want to do. And that's
right.
why I believe, like, people who have that and as it changes, adapt that, they have more happiness, they have more health, they
Mhm,
have more wealth, they have more success. It's because
mhm,
they're always willing to say, I don't have to keep up the status quo. I need to keep up progress, but maybe not the
right,
way I was always doing it.
right. It's very true. Wow. Believe, behave, become.
That's it, man. I mean, that's our whole
That
philosophy.
simple. Yep. Alright, man.
All right, brother.
I
See you.
think see ya.